It's time now for weather with Nebraska Extension's Eric Hunt. Eric, we've had some great weather this week. How are things shaping up over the next 7 days?
Well, thanks, Rebel. Much cooler weather coming in through this next week after what's been a relatively warm last 10 days for most of us here across Nebraska. Cooler weather coming in complements this trough coming to the Great Lakes region. We should also have some energy coming into the High Plains region Saturday night and Sunday, so there's going to be a chance of showers of thunderstorms, particularly west central section of the state, possibly getting into southeastern Nebraska as well. WPC is not particularly bullish on a lot of rain falling from the sky on Sunday across the state, but there will be chances of this rain extending further toward the east. Also, better chance of rain will exist across western Nebraska early portion of the week. So I think most of the Panhandle Sandhills has a chance of picking up some additional precipitation early portion of the week. Eastern half of the state likely going to be relatively dry starting Sunday afternoon through at least the middle of the week. And it's possible that portions of northeastern Nebraska may remain quite dry for most of the entire work week. Biggest story this week will be cooler temperatures coming into the region, so we're looking at highs in the 70s statewide through at least Wednesday, possibly getting in the 80s across portions of Panhandle by later in the week. But certainly we're done with the heat for a good while. And overnight lows may actually get down to the 40s as far south as Lincoln and Hastings by Tuesday morning. So later in the week, though, we will see this ridge try to start building back toward the north. Now, there's more uncertainties exactly where some of these short areas are going to be. Right now, it looks like mostly energy be Kansas, Oklahoma, so we're going to probably see the bulk of precipitation down there. That game on Thursday night might be relatively interesting because Kansas City is definitely going to be in the possibility of getting some relatively significant precipitation sometime today on Thursday, possibly into early Friday morning. Our area, I think we probably going to be on the northern end of this, but I'm putting our area in a circle here because I think we will have a chance, especially if these short waves are a little bit further toward the north, if that ridge is a little bit further toward the north, then certainly Highway 36 to I-80 corridor is going to have a chance of picking up some additional precipitation as we head into Thursday and into early Friday morning. CPC shows above average favor through the period right after Labor Day. I do think there's going to be a pretty good chance for the entire state to have moisture Labor Day week and probably Saturday and maybe again Monday into Tuesday, the week right after Labor Day, or week of Labor Day. Temperatures likely to remain relatively cool here for most of the rest of the month. I do think there may be a chance we get a little bit closer toward average by next weekend. Certainly most of this next week, though, is going to be quite cool for this time of year across this portion of the country. Probably the coolest one we've had in late August, this portion of the country, in several years, actually. But this stands in stark contrast to what's been a pretty warm summer for a lot of the Corn Belt, particularly here across portions of Illinois, Indiana, where minimum temperatures have been near record warm in some cases so far this summer. Precipitation, we've been sneaky dry here across areas from Holders to about western York County. Also, portions of Sandhills, very spotty precipitation across portions of Sandhills. Quite wet, though, western Corn Belt into Iowa. Pretty dry here across the Mid-South. Very, very dry here recently across New England. In terms of soybean areas in drought, again, the Mid-South region has been pretty dry here the last 30, 45 days, so drought starting to become an issue here. Pocket of concern in Illinois. Closer to home, did see some drought improvement across portions of Sheridan and Rock and Brown counties. A little bit of degradation, though, in this portion of the Sandhills. And again, we still have some severe drought across portions of South Central and the Southern Panhandle. And here's the temperature and precipitation roundup for the week ending August 16th, 2025. Back to you, Rebel.